Hola y bienvenido a mi canal. My name is Jamie, and today I want to go over a particular way of learning languages which I think is really fun, and also for me personally it's helped me already learn quite a lot of Spanish which I didn't previously know, whether that be certain words or certain phrases. I think one of the most important things in being able to learn a language is to be able to have fun, and if it's fun then you're able to continue learning, and so fun is like the main aspect here. And so I always try and find different ways to keep my language learning fun. If I stick with any one thing, it eventually gets boring. And so recently I've started using this YouTube channel called Easy Spanish more to my advantage. I've known about these easy language YouTube channels for a long time. There's Easy Spanish, there's also Easy many other languages you can input there: Japanese, Chinese, Italian, German, etc. Essentially, they have street interviews where they talk to people in real life, everyday, daily conversations, and they also have subtitles in both English and the language that the channel is trying to teach. Normally I just watch them and I just enjoy them. Maybe I pick up on a word or two here or there, but for the most part I don't really study these videos. I just watch them for enjoyment. Now that would be classed as extensive study. Now what I want to do and what I've started doing is using this to my advantage and using it as an intensive study method. So what do I do? Well, I go over to the YouTube channel that I want to go to, for in this example, Easy Spanish, and then I go over to the videos. And the first thing I did actually on my particular Spanish account was to find all of the videos that I was interested in, things on topics that was actually of interest to me, and I would put those in a playlist on my Spanish account so that then I can watch them all multiple times, right? So I've got a playlist of all of these YouTube videos that I found interesting, or that I thought would just be useful for me to watch over and over and over again, essentially. If we look here, we have a video on coffee. I don't drink coffee, I'm not interested in coffee, and so I don't add that to my playlist. But what I might add to my playlist is something like one problem in Mexico City, because it's about traveling and it's about a particular place, in this case Mexico City, somewhere I've never been, but somewhere that obviously speaks Spanish. And so if I was interested in that, I could add it to my playlist, or I could add artificial intelligence to my playlist. And in the end I ended up adding about 120 videos to my playlist. So the first thing I did was make a playlist of all the videos from this one YouTube channel that I wanted to watch and I could watch over and over and over again. Once I've added these videos to a playlist, all I have to do from there is go into the playlist and start watching the videos through. As you can see here, here is my playlist, and there's a bunch of videos in there. As I said, there's 120 videos in my playlist, and I just go through each video one by one, and I study the content within the video. But what I'm doing is I'm only doing a few videos at a time. I'm not doing all 120 at once. What I'm doing is no more than 5 videos at once, and I'm essentially just going through each video. I'm spending maybe half an hour, maybe 45 minutes on this one video, reading through the Spanish subtitles and stopping whenever there's a certain word or phrase that I think would be useful. And in this case, I've stopped on this particular frame on the very first video in my playlist because the phrase "yo hace nada" was said, and I had no idea what yo hace nada was. I never heard of yo hace nada. Underneath you can see it says I recently got graduated. So in the Spanish that would be yo hace nada, me gradué. And so I was like, yo hace nada must mean I recently, because me gradué would be like I got myself graduated, right? Or I graduated myself, something along those lines. And so I thought, okay, let's get yo hace nada, go and Google Translate, and do yo hace nada from Spanish to English. It says, I do nothing. Not quite the translation I was looking for, and sometimes Google Translate isn't the best for this kind of thing. So instead, I also have ChatGPT open as well for when I'm doing this. As you can see here, translate into English, yo hace nada, me gradué, and it says it translates into I just graduated. So then did translate yo hace nada, and yo hace nada means just now or a moment ago. And then I started asking more questions about this. How does yo hace nada translate to this exactly? The literal translation wouldn't be this. And then it would give me more information essentially. I'm using ChatGPT here for a lot of information. And if we go through, you can see how much I asked it and how much it would reply to me just within one session of me doing these easy language videos, in this case Easy Spanish. I was asking it all sorts of different questions, everything from what does this word mean, does this word mean the same as this word, is it just a synonym, Anything at all that you have questions on your languages as you're going through these videos, ask ChatGPT, and it normally gives a pretty good answer. And so here you can see cotidianas is an adjective that means every day or daily. For example, actividades cotidianas, which would mean daily activities. Then I said, is this the same as todos los días? And it says, yes, it's the same. It's a synonym, just another word that you can use. Because I'd never seen the word cotidianas, and it was also used in one of these videos here, as I was going through easy Spanish videos. Essentially what I do is I go through, and each sentence, each new sentence, I would pause, I would make sure that I understood everything, I'd resume if there's a word or phrase that I thought was interesting, something I'd never seen before. I would either consult Google Translate, or I'd go to ChatGPT, and I would just ask certain questions. As you go up here, you can also see other questions that I would ask it, to give you ideas of what else I would ask it to make sure that I would understand everything that I was watching, essentially. And also when I was doing this, I would make a lot of notes on my phone, so anything that was actually of relevance or importance I would note down on my phone for future use. I can go back on that note and I can be like, let's just read through this again. The first 5 episodes, which is what I did here in my first session of doing this, first 5 episodes, this is the amount of notes and things that I would pick up on. And to be honest, like, there was a whole bunch of different things that I'd learned and seen for the first time by doing this. Whereas if I was watching it casually in the background and sort of paying attention but sort of not, extensively studying these videos, then I wouldn't have picked up as much as I did do. Once I finish an entire video, once I have done all of my studying and I picked out all the vocabulary and grammar and whatever that I'd like to study in that particular video, I then download the video audio off of YouTube. You can use any sort of Googled YouTube video downloader. I don't have a particular one that I'm going to say to recommend, but just any that you can find. Just Google YouTube video downloader to MP3 and you'll find, I'm sure, enough where you can use that. And you can also do this thing where if you go on Spotify, if you have Spotify, you can open up your local files and then you can import basically files from your computer into Spotify and then download it onto your phone. So then you can use these to go on your phone and listen to these interviews outside of YouTube, right? So if we go onto Spotify right here, I've already got open my Easy Spanish YouTube Spotify playlist, and I can listen to this when I'm driving, when I'm just out and about, like doing whatever, like whenever I have time to listen to my Spotify. This is just like a bunch of Easy Spanish YouTube audio clips I've taken, and these are like whole videos essentially. I've also done the same for the Japanese, for when I get around to studying the Easy Japanese YouTube channel as well. I've got all of the Japanese videos there because they only made about 20 of them, and I've also downloaded a whole bunch of Easy Polish YouTube videos as well. This is actually, there's like 70 of these I downloaded. The main thing as well here is that these are all ordered in the same order that my playlists are ordered on YouTube, so that whether I watch them on YouTube or whether I listen to them here on Spotify, they're in the same order, and so I can pick up on the words and expressions as I'm listening and also as I'm watching, depending on which one I'm doing at a particular time. Because I drive a lot, obviously I'm going to be listening to a lot of audio without the video helping me. So when I'm driving, I can pick up on words and phrases which I've studied when I was intensively studying these videos. For example, when I'm driving, and then I'll hear "yo hace nada, me gradué," and I'm like, that means recently I graduated. And when you hear it and you understand what you heard, "yo hace nada" becomes a little bit more comprehensible, and it becomes a little bit more easier for you to remember that word or phrase, and also it backs up what you've already studied. And just over time, with enough repetition and enough exposure, these phrases and words are going to become a lot more natural to you, a lot more natural to be able to just use as and when you want to. I literally just had a conversation with someone from Peru, and when I was speaking to them, I literally used the phrase "yo hace nada" and it worked. They understood what I was saying, and I even asked them as well, like, just to make sure, "yo hace nada" is the same as recientemente, and they said yeah, "yo hace nada" is just another way of saying recientemente, essentially, or like just a minute ago, or just now, or something along those lines. So that is essentially it for this video. I just wanted to share this with you guys because I think it's very important to like find different ways to keep language learning fun, and I have sort of thought about doing this for a long time. It's just, to be honest, I'm quite lazy with a lot of things in life, including language learning. If I could do this, or if I could like lay in bed and watch a YouTube video and not really intensively do it, I'll opt for that instead. Or I could just go on an app and just do some things instead. It's like a lot more lazy and a lot more simple, and it takes less time. I'll opt for that. But ultimately, my abilities in like speaking and listening especially are going to like diminish a lot, or not even diminish, they're not going to grow to a good level because I haven't given myself the opportunity to speak, to listen and understand properly. So by doing this, I'm building my listening, I'm training my listening skills, which is something I need to do in all of my languages, including Spanish. And I also am building my vocabulary set with phrases and words that I previously didn't know. And I'm also being more exposed to the cultures of Spanish speaking countries in obviously Spain, but also in Latin America, that being mostly South America, but also the little few countries that are in North America as well that speak Spanish as well. So I'm exposing myself to those places, and maybe some idioms and words that are used in certain places, as well as just building my overall vocabulary in Spanish. If you have any questions on this particular way of studying the language, please let me know. But I do also have a live stream that I've just recently done where I did this with a Spanish video. I will put it in a card somewhere. Also, I will be doing this with a brand new language. I will be doing this with hopefully Romanian very soon. So I'll be going on Easy Romanian. I think there's only a few videos, but the idea is I've never really studied Romanian before. I would really like to learn some Romanian to speak with people out and about, because there's a lot of Romanians here in the UK. So I would like to use this trick or study method, I guess, rather than a trick, to learn basics of Romanian with the help of ChatGPT, because it will help me as well with like basics and such. And so I'm going to live stream myself doing this very thing with Romanian and just seeing how far I get and showing you like the processes as well. But if you'd like to see it all live, I already have a video live stream where I did this in Spanish with a video. I will be doing more in the future because it was fun to do. And I think that is going to be everything for this video. Hopefully it made sense, and hopefully this is a new way of studying that you previously didn't think of. If it is, let me know. Again, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments section below. Do all of that. It would all help me out, as well as liking the video and subscribing to the channel if you're new around here. And yeah, with all that out of the way, gracias por mirar y hasta luego. Ciao, ciao.